So on the theme of like the most recent videos I've been uploading, go check those out if you want to. You don't have to, but stay this video first, and then we'll have a typical like clickbait stuff that people talk about. But the one concept I'm really trying to be thinking about, and I will do a proper like full video about it. I've said it about for the last two videos now, which is around like killing versions of yourself. And I've been in a real big kind of, I want to say debacle or like fight within myself. But I've been in a headspace where I've been able to slow down. And you might be the same where when you've got to a particular point in your life, whether it's work, career, academics, or whatever, you're able to just kind of sit back and absolve yourself from situations a lot more and kind of take things for face value more than you might have maybe 5 years ago, 2 years ago. Insert time frame here, right? I only say this because in previous like workplaces that I used to work at and kind of just through academics and school growing up and people that I've just kind of made acquaintance with, made friends with, is as I've kind of built those friendships, relationships, whatever, they've added a whole lot of perspective to my own life. And maybe there's people in your own life that you've come across who they said something that stuck with you forever. They've given you a different angle to approach something to in a way that maybe you didn't think about it that way 6 months ago. And now the penny dropped and you're just like, oh, I know what thingy here said, 6 months ago. Now it makes sense, right? I've had a lot of those moments, probably more so in my life in the past year than I have in the other 20 odd 24 plus years of my life, if that makes sense. Because I've had like a lot of things happen over the past probably 12 months that like have definitely defined the person I am, but also the person I'm trying to become. And maybe you clicked on this video because you think you're out of luck or something just isn't going your way, something feels off, and you're kind of in that like, I need to chase something that's a bit greater than myself. But it's only until you kind of speak to the right people at the right time in your life that they've imparted a bit of wisdom. And I'm not trying to say like you should seek out crazy wisdom from people because like you know some people in life just they haven't got enough to give to you to make your life and enrich it, right? There's some people that's just the way life is, but you'll come across like people where I've noticed after 5 minutes of speaking to them, I'm enthralled. I want to speak to them more. I feel like they have a nugget of information that maybe it might help my life. There might be like that dopamine reward pathway system that has kind of grown through social media and yeah, many social media. I think that's the problem for a lot of stuff actually now I say that out loud. But when you think about like those times you were like going through brain rot and you were just scroll, 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 and like you couldn't even tell what the last one you watched was, right? Most likely. But because of the way we kind of seek distractions, information, data, triggers, points to kind of talk about or enrich ourselves. So, oh, I'm going to keep consuming business content because that might make me a businessman. That's not how that works. You can't consume your way into being productive. That's not how that works. But where I'm trying to go with this is like, you'll come across those people that give you that same kind of like, oh, I can't wait to speak to James and Simon and insert a person here because I just gave them basic English names. Excuse me. But what I'm trying to get with that is like, I've noticed there's people that have kind of entered my life that are like that. There's people who, based on the work they do, the experience they have, and the person that they've become on their own journey, has definitely impacted who I have in the brief moment in time in which we've like worked together, exchanged communication, ideas, or projects. I feel like this is already yapping and already over the place, but it is what it is. But there's people like that who have got real pieces of information and nuggets to share with you. And I think that's one thing a lot of people in the modern era are really lacking. I say modern era like, oh my God. But like there's people probably yourself watching this or other people that you probably think about at work or in your life in general, right? Who probably just like when you hear them speak and they say about particular things, they like enrich your day. They make it better. They've shared something that made you laugh or whatever, right? And I think that is something that humans have really, really missed out on in the past, probably like let's just say 20 years since like the rise of like the internet and social media, where because you have so much instant access to someone on YouTube, someone on TikTok, Instagram, X, whatever your social media, nicotine or heroin of choices. I've deleted all that. YouTube is my bad addiction. But anyway, who doesn't love YouTube? But regardless, because you're fighting with so many different apps and people who are on these apps for the attention, and you're always like scrolling for information to maybe like fix a problem that you don't have, but like you go, top 5 ways to do this, or here are the top 10 shoes you need to wear to make yourself this or that, like whatever, these stupid flipping clickbaity stuff. I don't know where I'm trying to go with this video, but like I'm sure there's a point to this, the method to the madness or whatever. Maybe there isn't. I'm just here to yap and talk because it's my own channel and I can do what I want. That's ultimately the truth, right? We can all do what we want in this life to some extent, so we all have free will. So, you don't have to watch this, but we're just here to talk. And yeah, let's take this video also. Going back to the whole perception thing around like killing yourself off and thinking about like different versions of yourself that you've had to like kind of come to terms with that just won't come to fruition, I guess. Like, let's just say this one out loud. Like, I'll never be a professional footballer. Okay, cool. I've moved on from that. I would love to make £300,000 a week. That'd be great. But you know what I'm trying to say, right? There's versions of yourself that in the parallel timeline, the parallel universe, it's happening, right? But you're in this current version where you're watching me on the phone, YouTube app, MacBook, iPad, whatever. Just yapping, talking about random stuff. No sense of direction on the video. I'm just here to talk. But the ultimate beauty of that is the fact that you can just talk as a human. You can share ideas. You can try to make methods out of madness and reasonings from random ideas and random kind of thoughts and ideas. And that's why I made the channel, because why not just talk about things at a human element, a human life point that makes the inflections of other things kind of seem mundane and stupid when you say them out loud. You're stressing about projects at work, or you're stressing about what Sally's going to do with the documents that you signed, or like, there's much greater problems and challenges to think about. And because of the way like the world is, got your 9 to 5 or longer, most people, you're so fixated and stuck within that system or routine that it becomes rigid. And having moments like this on a random day after work isn't very much a thing for other people because they're so busy between working and consuming. Working and consuming. Working and consuming. You get the point. You work your hours, you consume food, nicotine, drugs, substances, beer, social media, TV shows, YouTube, insert thing here, right? But no one's creating. No one's really just sitting down and creating in a way where like, there's one person, my partner, she is she's on like a proper art grind right now, and I'm so jealous because it's like pure creation. I don't have that kind of muscle in my brain. I have the muscle for like creativity, for expression of like conversation and talking and like kind of just being a human, right? Just talking about things that are happening in life, in my life, in their life, in your life, whatever, and sharing thoughts and ideas about things and trying to make life a bit easier to be existing within, I guess, or palatable, right? And when you're going from that kind of work consumer mindset into like work create or work and learn, it's a really hard shift, because going back to the point about like the social media dopamine kind of treadmill, the hedonic treadmill with that, when you kind of slowly ease yourself off of it and then you move into other things and you enrich yourself with academics, reading, learning, biographies, I don't know, documentaries, or whatever, life starts to look a lot different, because instead of being all the time like, this is on my phone, control. But instead of always being like this, just scroll, 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 find something new about something else that doesn't matter, and a dumb TikTok trend or Instagram, like, this stuff doesn't matter. In the real world, this doesn't matter. The reel that got 1,000,000+ views doesn't matter. Oh, what thing, you got 100,000 likes on a thing? No, Who? What? I don't care. Oh, did you see what thing he done on TikTok? No, I didn't. 'Cause I don't have the flipping app. You know what I mean? Like, God, this is a yap sesh. I wonder if I even upload this. I definitely will, but that's just the way it is. But what I'm trying to get is there's so many different things and elements of like things that you're probably doing that don't feed into the work and create or the work and learn. It's always work and consume. Consume, consume, consume. I bet when you're watching this, maybe not you because you're like me, but when you're watching this, you're eating your dinner, eating lunch, or having a piss, or taking a, you know, there's so many moments in between the in between moments where we're filling it with consumption. I just I just can't do it. I've been so fixated in doing that in the past. Like I can remember like the second I walk out that door, go to the toilet or go downstairs, scroll on my phone. Consume. Oh, let me go check this. Let me go look at my portfolio of this or that. You know, like ain't going nowhere. And neither is social media. But it's going at a pace that just years ago I decided to jump off of it. I know I'm creating on this channel, but I will never have Instagram again. I'll never have any X or this, that. I'm like, why do I need that? Why do I need to be on that hedonic treadmill of consumption? I'm just gonna leave that video here. Honestly, I I don't know what else to talk about in the sense of this has been a great yap. The great yappening. This was good. The great yappening. But if you made it this far, I mean that's cool. I'll impart a piece of wisdom with you before I go. Maybe not. I don't know.